What's going on, everybody? It is I, Delacroix,
I'm mad curious.
and we're back with another episode of Unfiltered Gamers. And Murphs wants to say hello. And what the hell is going on with your tree?
I made my chat Valentine's. It's the first season of the year. The new change. It's not Christmas anymore.
But you have so you just do hearts over the Christmas tree with Christmas decorations.
Yeah, it's a layered tree. At the end of the year, we did a whole like undecorating. I forget what we called it. Stripping the tree, and we went through and took off every layer, and the ones that could be kept were kept. Actually, there's a few from last year on the other side. So
Take the tree down, Matt.
No.
Christmas is done.
no, it's never coming down. I was very anti it at first, and then chat was like, "No, we want to keep it." And I was like, "We can't
Stop
just
letting
keep the
chat
Christmas-"
control you.
No,
You're letting your chat
no,
control
they
you.
get to. They're right as chat. Don't tell them that though. Don't tell them.
What did you
Well-
did you do anything for Valentine's Day?
Yeah, just made Valentine's. To be honest, we were gonna do like a bunch of games, but I ended up like working on a video all day, and then I was just tired. I had like a very long week.
So you stood inside like a loser, like the rest of us.
Oh yeah, huge loser over here.
Oh well, I went to a wedding reception, so
Wow,
Okay.
so much better than the rest of us. Has Valentine's plans.
listen, man, listen. Nobody from chat your chat did ask to be a Valentine's.
I labeled the episode "Will You Be My Valentine?" and they came in and they were all my Valentines and they were very excited, and I made them Valentines. Look at all these people. Look at all of them. The big ones were the like donos, you know, the whole deal, and then
And you sit there and say you don't riz up your chat.
I did this one day. Yeah, it was
Oh,
Valentine's.
one
the one
day
day.
you rizzed up the chat. That
Yeah,
one day.
It's Valentine's.
Would you hit it with? Did you hit it with the riz face?
No, I don't have a Riz face.
Yes, you do.
I don't
Show,
have a Riz
show them the
face.
riz face.
I
You
don't
do.
have a Riz face.
Come on, show
People
us your
keep
riz
saying
face.
that, and I don't have one.
You do. You risen people up all the time. That's how you get all the boys to the yard.
I did
and the
get
girls.
proposed to just getting food last night. To be fair.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I went to go get food. I was picking it up because I got my video done, and I was like, all right, I deserve a treat. I haven't had oxtail in ages, so I went to this
Oh my
Jamaican
God.
restaurant and got oxtail. Yeah, that's the treat. And I wasn't. I mean, I looked about like this. We're talking like, you know, I had on like shorts because it's Florida, it's hot. But like other than that, basically like this. I think I was wearing a hat and everything, and yeah, no, got proposed to.
The guy
was-
the
he
guy
was
at the
like-
Jamaican
yeah,
restaurant?
He's like, are you married? Well, just like one that was like sitting there, and I had to wait on my mac and cheese, so I was just kind of standing there for a few minutes, and he was like, "So you married?" And I was like, "No." The answer is probably yes. The right answer is yes. And he was like, "I would marry you," and I was like, "Okay." He's like, "You should be married. I'll marry you," and I was like, "No, I'm." He's like, "You're really pretty. You should be married." I was like, "I'm good."
Damn.
And so then he just like kept going and was like trying to give me his number and stuff. And I was like, I'm just here for food. I'm just here for
you should know what
oxtail.
you should do. You should have took his number down, like write it on a piece of paper, and be like, okay, cool, and then just ripped it up and tossed it as you like.
Oh my god! Not trying to get murdered.
Or
Jeez.
what? You don't want it? He said, I'll put it like this: if you give somebody your number, all right, and you give me your phone number, right? It's a paper, right?
Mhm.
You just gave it to me, and I could do whatever I want with it, right? You gave it to me, so I could either
You
put it in
would-
my
if
phone,
you were a lady, you'd be murdered.
put it in my pocket.
You'd be murdered. You can't
Do
do
the
this
thing
as
is,
a lady. You have to placate.
Okay, so you put it in your pocket, right? So you put it in your pocket, say thank you. I'll be sure to call you. You walk out the store, then when you get to a trash can, you dump it.
Oh,
She's like-
you didn't mean in front of him. I thought you meant like he gives it to you and you're just like, just like look him in the eyes, just dead in the eyes, just.
No, you should look him in the eye and just rip it. Thank you. Then
No,
like, but you just like I memorized it. Don't worry.
Jeez.
But at least you know.
I
You know, at
just
least Matt-
placate. It's the whole. It's just I don't want to get murdered. Move.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy times nowadays, and now everybody, especially with the political standpoint of stuff, everybody's just like, "We're all gonna die." Is like, really? That's just you just being scared to step outside. Stay in the
Yeah.
house if you're scared. Like, honestly, if you're scared of who's the president, like, get over it. You're fine. Yes, there's rules and everything changing. There's different laws and stuff. It's gonna happen with no matter who gets in there. It just makes it easier now because this guy's the big bad guy. He's the main villain of this country right now. So In
it's like
3 years, we have another one who's the main villain.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't let things that are outside of my control me ever. You know what I mean? Like it
Exactly.
doesn't matter to me who's in office or doing whatever. Like there's a plague, I'm still gonna just do me. You know,
Yeah.
do me. Do it
Yeah.
me.
Well, supposedly, did you get your rights taken away?
No.
You live in Florida too, a very red state.
I mean,
That's a very red state.
My daily is exactly the same, so I don't know what rights I've had taken unless I'm not allowed. Do I have to get a husband, or am I good? Like, am I allowed to still make money myself?
I don't know. It's supposed to turn into Handmaid's Tale.
Well, if it does, let me know, I guess, because I'll have to get a fake husband that wants to be there just so I can make money myself.
No, I think if the Handmaid's Tale, you had a baby maker or like a wife to a baron or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm old now, so.
What does that mean? I'm old. I can't make babies.
Like a what's it called? What's the word for that? What are we calling them? There's words for like ladies that are old that aren't of child.
Wait, what? Ladies who are old
that are
child?
That are not of child, that like don't have children, that are old.
Old lady.
Spinsters?
What?
Spinsters? There's like terms for us, like old ladies.
Old lady. Grandma.
No, not grandma, because grandma would imply, children that had children.
That is true.
I'm talking about the crazy cat ladies like me. There's like other words for it.
Okay, you're a crazy cat lady. All right. Anyway, speaking of crazy cat ladies, Pokimane decided to have some choice words. Choice words to say about streamers. Well, she said something particular about two streamers. She said she wanted to say something about Kai Synapse and iShowSpeed. iShowSpeed and Kai Synapse, if you don't know, are two prominent streamers, young men, and they're just like taking the streaming world by storm. They really took streaming and flipped it upside down and made it like this whole thing where it's like it's more catered towards the younger audience and like the new generation of kids growing up. And I don't know if you ever saw like a Kai Synapse stream or iShowSpeed stream. It's a lot happening.
iShowSpeed is not really my speed, to be fair, but I've seen him jump over cars, so he's out there doing stuff.
Yeah, and he's hanging out with professional athletes. He's fucking hanging out with celebrities. Same thing with Kai Synapse. He has rappers.
Well, you know what I like
movie
about Kai?
stars.
He does
what do you think
some
about
of
Kai?
so the content that I have that like aligns with his, I like watching his. Like he's very inspirational.
Okay.
He does like what was it? Elden Ring like nonstop, Bloodborne nonstop. Like that's the kind of stuff I do. It's like marathon nonstop games and that kind of stuff. So
but he takes to a level where he says like the whole
exactly.
the whole
and
background
so
and stuff.
if I had a lot of money, I would do that. But I do a little bit. Like when I played Batman, I had the Batman up. I've got to switch that now to my Mad Assassin's Creed flag, right? Like I try to do like at least a little bit. And then when you saw my Japanese decor, I've had that up during our podcast.
I've seen that.
So that's for Shadows. But it's just smaller scale what he does. So I really like him. He's super inspirational. He does kind of similar concept to what I do, but mine's obviously small. So but I don't really care about the celeb stuff. Like that's not my content. But jumping over cars, and I know Speed does like travel stuff. That's cool.
He does a lot of things like that too. But
and then they do stuff together. They do like the crossover.
Yeah, they're bros and they hang out and they fucking collabs and shit. And like Kai Synapse, he's had Kevin Hart on his stream. He had Sexy Red. He had Megan Thee Stallion. He had freaking John Cena. He had fucking Drewski, who's a influencer. He had Nicki Minaj. He's had a lot of people on the stream. He goes around the community. He does a lot of big things with his streams. It's on a big scale.
And people are going to say, I can't do that. That's just because he's famous.
Shit.
And like anybody can do that. Anybody can have the people that come on, and you can make it bigger and bigger and bigger. There's no reason you can't.
So, but the thing was like Pokimane came out and she said, and I quote, this is her statement, unfortunately, there aren't many huge female streamers, at least not at Kai and Speed's level. And with that, I say there aren't many huge male streamers who are doing the same thing as Kai and Speed. She automatically, when she automatically said like female streamers, you automatically just put it into a male versus female type thing. Mm-hmm. When you look at this type of scale, it's not male versus female, it's how much content and work you're putting into it, and the what you're getting out of it. And I like the comment that you said that, like, you know, her being a huge influencer and who's being a huge streamer, one of the biggest streamers, one of the Twitch's golden childs, she could have made like this whole like .org or like made events to highlight female streamers and like have a lot of events with female streamers. For a side of me feels like she has done something like that, but then a side of me feels like I just think Twitch just does like the Women's Appreciation Month, and they'd have like all the guild for all the female streamers. I don't know if she's ever done like her own event and had like the biggest female streamers. Like if she does an event like that, she's gonna have her friends, of course, because that's what everybody does. But like it's never been something where it's like, oh, I'm gonna find like some small female streamers and like, you know, make this whole team and stuff.
I've done that myself. It's not like it's. I mean, it's hard, but she could certainly do it. She has the resources. You know what I mean? Like I got 100 streamers together, had a host every game, 3 games in a night, and it was like 3 different types, and had like 100 streamers come together and just game together, and made it like a big celebration of gaming more than like a heavy competition. But there was a little bit of competition. Like she could do that with, you know, people that aren't just her friends. You know what I mean? And she could make it so it's not like, you know, if she's afraid of people just like getting access to her or whatever else, like she could have people moderating the different areas in like a Discord channel or something. You know, like it wouldn't have to be where she feels like she's doing all this stuff with like
exactly
forbid small streamers, but like, you know, it wouldn't have to be her friends. Like I don't think everybody cares about this like clique group of streamers like they think that we do. We don't give a shit, most of us. So like I don't know why she doesn't highlight, you know, more people who are doing cool stuff. Like I would love to see, say, like some of these streamers that like play games in like some of the weird ways. Like I feel like there's been some people with like a DDR pad, and then like people who have done it. You know, like there's people who do, like,
I've seen those.
Like,
I've seen that.
And see some of those people all compete in a game together just for fun, right? Like people could do that if they have that kind of influence, and they're like missing opportunities. And I don't get why they're not being more creative. Like they were watching Gordon Ramsay on stream, like her in an XQC for like a year, and we're like getting in trouble. Like, do something. Like,
and remember there was that whole hot tub thing for like almost half a year. There was like a lot of female streamers doing the hot tub stuff. So it's like,
and that's the thing too, is like people, if you do sex content, that's the only content you're allowed to do forever now. You're not going to be known for anything else. Like even if you do it, like Amaranth, like Amaranth does do actually some cool stuff outside of just her titties.
But most of our audience is like,
so yeah.
But most of our audience is like, I'm here to see titties, and if I see something else, I'm like, but there's still titties.
Yeah.
There's somehow this titties incorporated. But speaking of Amaranth, like Amaranth did a lot. Amaranth used her sexuality and all that stuff, and she knew what she was doing, and she profited off of that. When the hot tub thing came along, she was like, I'm gonna make my own inflatable hot tub business. She started making with that. Then she was like, oh, I'm gonna buy my own gas station. Like she invested her money in a smart way.
My plan is to do is like the Amaranth method of like investing in a bunch of stuff, you know.
Yeah, she even has her own. She even has her own fleshlights. Don't ask why I know, but she has her own fleshlights and everything. So like, she made money off of her sexuality and stuff. Now, do I see other streamers doing this, like Pokimane and, you know, who else you got? Valkyrie? No, because they're more about their content.
In that realm, like there's like women that are not Amaranth that are like in that space that do similar things, but not like to the extent that she does. You know what I mean? And
not doing sexual content. Not doing sexual content, but like Pokimane, she has been on Twitch since like the dark ages of Twitch.
She like quit at one point, so I don't even know what she's.
She's always
about.
quitting and fucking coming back. Like, I'm tired of that shit.
Like I just don't.
Every
understand.
other day, stop streaming and blah 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 blah. The next thing you know, I have a hot take, and anybody needs to hear, like, did you quit? Just quit and quit. Like, who am I? Okay, I can't say if you're gonna quit, stay away. But if you constantly just like say I'm gonna take a break, and then you pop back up with a hot take to stay relevant, people just start to say like, shut up after a while. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest. If me and you were like, we're quitting this podcast, and every other 2 weeks we came back with a fucking hot take, people like tell both of us, go shut the fuck up.
Well,
like,
that's
make up your
like
mind.
half of streamer Twitter, if we're being perfectly honest. At least it was back in like 22. You know what I mean? Like everybody was like quitting nonstop. It's like, I'm quitting, and then they come. It's like, dude. And now officially, I think most people who like threatened they were gonna quit like actually have. Like it's been 5 years since I've been in the industry, so it's like you see all the cycles, you know.
But this whole thing, when you start breaking it down between female streamers and male streamers, is there a difference between the two? Yes.
Yeah, there's a totally
But
different
at the end of the
journey.
day,
Like
with that
Pokemon's actually said
situation,
some good
yeah,
stuff about it. And if she
yes,
said that stuff, I feel like it might have resonated instead of trying to be hot take about it. Like she said something about how it, like we're more essentially that we're more clickable, right? Like if somebody sees a woman, they might click, but their intentions might be different, right? So they
of
might be
course,
looking for boobs. And so if they don't get boobs and they get some other value, they might still stay. Like, if they come to my
yes.
stream, they're like, oh, a woman's playing my favorite game. I'm going to go over here because she's a woman and she's playing
And
my
I'm gonna
favorite
try
game.
to date her.
And so then if they come in and they see the chat and they see me and they see like what the vibe is and it has nothing to do with objectifying me, they might be turned off and leave, right? But they might
Correct.
also be brought in and they're like, oh, look at this community. Like they're kind of tight. Like I wonder if they'll let me in. And like, oh, this is fun. She's playing the game and is enjoying herself. Like maybe I'll enjoy this. She's like looking at stuff that I haven't looked at, or she's playing it for the first
Yeah.
time, like, so they might be brought in by me being a woman, but in order for me to convert them into like an actual loyal follower, they would have to change what they came in for. And so automatically by being a woman, I have a hurdle of bringing people in. It's not going to be everybody, right? Like not every man's going to
Yes.
think that way, but a lot of men are going to think, oh, woman, objectification, right? And so I'm going to have to turn them from that in order to bring them in. So I've got a barrier automatically that a man doesn't have, right? And that's like the biggest difference. So we might be there's like and it kind of like amplifies from there as you scale, and there's different things that have different
And to touch
advantages
on
and
your point,
disadvantages, right?
to touch on your point with that too, like especially if you're a woman playing certain games, like let's say you're playing with, just say you're playing like any competitive game where it's a team-based game. A guy who is a higher rank, be like, hey, I'm X rank, I can carry you to whatever rank. They're guys are more willing to fucking grab some random girl who's attractive, who's playing their favorite, like Counter-Strike, Valorant, League of Legends, Overwatch, fucking Rivals, Apex, and say, hey, I'm a grandmaster or whatever. I'm a high rank player. Like I can carry you. Don't worry. And people may sit there and go, no, that doesn't happen. Yes, a lot of the early female streamers that are playing League of Legends got carried to the high ranks, and they played support players. And the thing is, once you stay in the high rank, if you don't know, who many don't play ranked games, once you get a high rank, when the season restarts, they drop you like few ranks, and they get right back to the top ranks. There's a lot of male streamers. Like I'm gonna tell you this: when I started playing League of Legends, people came in and was like, "You're fucking dog shit, bro. You're dog shit." And I was like, "Yes, I know I'm dog shit, but I'm learning." And somebody was actually go, "You know what? You may be dog shit, but I can help you and teach you. So let me teach you some things."
Yeah.
There's very difference from a guy going, yeah, there's very difference, because that guy was there to troll me, but you can't troll a troll. So he was actually saying, maybe I like these characters, maybe I like these positions, and he's played with me. With a girl, it's like, don't worry, you sit back, I'll carry the game for you. And like you said, does it happen for every girl? No. Sometimes you have to have a certain look or aesthetic going on for you. I'm speaking as a male who has watched female streamers and male streamers. If a girl looks a certain way, guys are more willing to be like, hey, I want to watch your stream. And if she's talking a certain way, the guy's going to think, oh my God, I have a chance with her.
There's
I'm pretty
probably
sure,
a parallel universe that I am an e-girl. You know what I mean? Somewhere.
Yeah.
Like there's a parallel universe somewhere that I went on a different path,
You mean like now, aren't you? I'm pretty sure there's guys who come into your channel and be like, oh my God, you are the light of my life.
Oh yeah,
I've never seen something.
There's a few, but it's not as many, because like even when I'm more made up and stuff, like I'm usually wearing a hoodie or something, because I mostly just wear my merch. Like, I mean, occasionally I've dressed up. Like I was dressed up in that one stream, and you were like, "Oh, you're dressed up." Like was it the mermaid stream, Mermaid Titanic? So sometimes I'll do like cosplays and stuff, but like it's never to objectify myself, even if it's like a little bit less like whatever. It's just more about like creating the atmosphere.
I think the day you like wear clothes that are like objectifying, your chat would be like, what the fuck just happened here?
Well, I have. Like I've worn like dresses that are kind of, like, but
va-va-va-voom?
Yeah, but like nothing too crazy. Like I have one dress in particular, like it shows like a little bit of cleavage, but it's not like crazy,
That's not va-va-va-voom. That's like
kind of more tasteful, like, I'm not really wearing like I'm not gonna like wear club clothes here, and I don't even wear that kind of stuff anymore. I used to back in the day, but like it's been a long time.
You know what's funny? I would say don't take this as an offense, Matt.
Yeah.
Don't, I'm not saying this very respectfully. You wear the clothes that what everybody's girlfriend will wear in their house when they're relaxing.
Yes,
Like,
that's exactly what I
guys
want it
need-
to be. I want it to be a wife-friendly stream. That's what I call it. Like, is a wife-friendly stream. Like, I don't want a wife to walk by and be like, "Who the fuck are you watching?" You know, like I want them to come watch too. You know, like I want it to be very much like people who are in relationships don't feel weird coming to my stream. Right?
So when I say this, is like you guys think like they date these e-girls and all that stuff, and these cosplayers they're gonna be dressed sexy 24/7. No, you see how Matt's dressed? That's what you're going home to.
Yes.
Again, no offense, Matt. She's
it's more
she's
the,
very
like,
comfortable.
yeah, it's more the just
You're comfortable.
I'm relaxed.
You're chill.
I'm comfortable. I'm playing games. There's no reason to dress up. Like this
Yeah.
is what and sometimes I'll straight up be wearing pajamas. You know what I mean? Like it's just
if you
really
think
chill.
you're gonna date a girl who plays video games and she's gonna be dressed the way you saw her 24/7, if you think any girl you like date, marry, spend like. You think she's gonna be boobs out, makeup every day, 24/7?
There are some who really do just like dressing up. Like it's not even just for dudes. Like they just really enjoy. Like
Yes,
I was even having a conversation with one like a girl yesterday who was like, she's like, do you do this too? Like sometimes where you just need to get into a better mindset, so you like clean everything and you clean yourself and you like make up and you just like you get like your 100%, like your best possible self. And so, yeah, like women, that's just kind of like how a lot of our brains work is like we want to make things pretty, right? And so it's, I mean, that's part of it. And so, yeah, sometimes we just want to get made up. Some of us less than others. Like I don't do it as much because I get focused on other things. But, we all like doing that at some point.
Again,
so like
when you dress for stream and everything, yes, I get it. I see it. We get it.
Yeah.
But when the camera goes off and all those lights go off, the Mad you see in front of you, what you might get with your
100%. This is what I look like on a daily basis versus like a lot of people that you see, a lot of women you see online aren't going to be what you'd get on a daily basis. Like I'm very much like transparent. Like I'm not wearing a dip of makeup. I'm not wearing anything right now. Right?
A dip of makeup. You don't no little blush. That's all natural.
Yeah, that's just my ginger Asian face. I get ginger or Asian blush, and I have no idea which one it is at any given time.
I didn't even know there was a thing.
Or just sinuses, probably. It could be any of the three.
But circling back to this, like we gotta stop this whole thing with the with bigger streamers coming in trying to constantly divide male and females.
Yes.
Because again, her as a huge female streamer, just because she's not getting the traction that she used to get, I feel like she's coming out and saying like the women are the victims again. Like you're trying to put everybody in a box now. You're trying to put all female streamers in the box. Because, there's a lot of female streamers who got behind it. It was like, yes, it's true. Because men this and men that and men blah, 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 blah. Again, you got to look at the two sides of the coin. There's a lot of female streamers who came up on boobs. And if I go on Twitch right now, and I saw 10 females with their titties out, number 11, I'm expecting to see your titties out too. I'm sorry. If 10 out of 10 got titties out, number 11 got to have the titties out too.
Yeah, and so that's
why do
part
most
of
guys
the deal, right? Is like, and that's why it can be kind of frustrating, and why there's sometimes been like a divide amongst women too, is because there's like the titty streamers and the non-titty streamers. And so some will say, okay, well, the titty streamers make the rest of us look bad. There is some truth to that. Like if we're looking at it from a nuanced perspective, everyone, like I'm very much like freedom, no censorship, but also it does affect the rest of the platform to have titties out. Like I'm not going to deny that. It affects ad revenue, like who wants to advertise, and it affects other women and how they're being, objectified. It does. That's just part of it. But it doesn't mean that I don't think that women should be allowed to do it. It's just, it makes it more difficult for me. It absolutely does.
It's consequences of the actions of others. Like for male streamers, to get on Twitch and be fucking like to hit, it's either you have to be a fucking high rank in the game and you got to be hitting trick shots, or super entertaining, or freaking VTuber. And VTubers have taken over predominantly. And you mean, what's the most things you see in VTubers now too? Female VTubers.
Yeah.
Huge bouncing titties.
How many of those do you think are men?
You can tell the ones that are men. They literally, bro.
I don't know.
They
I
are.
don't watch
They don't
VTubing.
hide it, but they don't hide it. The female VTuber models who are men, they don't hide it. They don't change their voices or anything. They just, it's a manly voice, and it's just like
Titties.
a anime girl or anime fox girl with huge titties.
Interesting.
So there's VTuber guys who are like handsome guys from the animes, and females like that. Some females like that. Some guys like that too. It's like there's a whole community guild.
Yeah, I've tried to like figure it out at times. I haven't dove deep. The one thing I've gotten is from somebody who's like, I like looking at cartoons more than people, and I can relate to them more because people I'm always trying to figure out, and cartoons I can just like exist. I'm like,
I don't
so
trust VTubers
because I don't watch animated much at all. Like I'm much more of a live action girl, and I like seeing people. So for me, it doesn't. I can't register it, but like there is an interest, and I think it's the same people who like animation, all that kind of stuff. Like it's that same world. Yeah.
I mean, I have a problem with VTubers at times because like a lot of VTubers, they could be heinous people. Like it's a constant act, right? Yeah. But they could say something heinous right now, like, and get canceled, and then all I gotta do is change my model. Bam, I'm a brand new person. You don't know who that person is behind that model half the time. And we've seen constant cases of VTubers and the drama in the VTuber community where people are fucking racist shit. They're like, you think IRL streamers are racist? I've seen some heinous shit with VTuber in their communities and the racist shit they say, and it's crazy. And then the drama, like,
I've seen some
weird
drama
relationships.
like sagas, but I haven't seen a lot of the other stuff. I've just seen the
I don't know
infighting.
how I scour the darkest places of Twitter and the internet, and like I get dragged into shit. I'm like, what the hell is this rabbit hole? And it's like, they say don't, you fall down these rabbit holes. I don't fall down the rabbit holes. I fucking plummet into this shit. And the stuff I see, I'm just like, what the fuck? And then I make one comment and I'm like, what the hell is all this? And somebody goes, you don't know the whole story. And they send me a whole thread of stuff. And mind you, I have found myself in not one, not two, but 3 VTuber parties in IRL. I didn't know there were VTuber parties. I just ended up there.
What?
I thought it was a party, and I go there, and I'm seeing some people.
Like at TwitchCon, like, or just like in real life, you just accidentally ended up at
yes, at TwitchCon. At TwitchCon, I ended up at so many VTuber parties, and I'm like, what am I doing here? I don't belong here. Okay, so TwitchCon Vegas. One of my homies who's a DJ, they were out there, and her wife was like, yo, we're going to a mansion party. You want to come through? I'm like,
well, yeah, that sounds
fuck yeah, I want to go. So I'm high on shrooms. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going fucking mansion party. Fuck yes. I get there. As soon as I get there, I see people dancing like in the living room, whatever, and I see VTuber avatars in the screen. My brain trying to piece things together are like, oh, maybe the camera is capturing them and making them VTubers, right? That's what my brain is saying. Remember, I'm on shrooms. I'm like at the party and I'm starting to notice things. I'm starting to see like people at the party, they're very unique looking. Like, I was a weird kid in high school. I was a very weird kid that sat in like, So when you go into a party, you see all the weird kids that you were, but they were a little bit weirder than you. You're like,
It would have been hard to be weirder than me, to be fair.
Then I was standing in the line to the bathroom because every house party there's a long line to a bathroom, and some Australian guy from straight down from down under was talking to me, and then I started piecing more things together, and then it all clicked. It was a VTuber party because this kid came up to me and was like, "Do you want to sign my plush? It's my avatar plush." And I'm like, "What?" So he had his plush of his avatar. So I was like, wait, the people on the TV were VTubers.
Okay. Gotcha.
They were VTubers. I've been in the party. These people are VTubers. All these people here are VTubers. I'm in the wrong place.
Oh my goodness. That's amazing.
And and the thing is, like, you know when you're in the party, like, you don't belong, and somebody else that's there don't belong too. Like, I don't belong here. Like, I could blend in, but I stand out way too much. Like, you see me in person. Like, I'm not like a fucking... I'm not saying most VTubers, but majority of VTubers, like, scrawny kids, like, you know, I'm a little more beefy, look like I look more like I blend into society a little bit. I'm sorry. I'm
No,
gonna
my
get
brain
we're gonna
works
get
the same way. Like the
we're
very
gonna get
like
cancer.
gamification of everything. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Dude, so it was like me, I could count me and like 2 other people there did not belong there. We were just here for the ride.
That's
And I'm just like,
amazing.
oh my God, this is a VTuber party. And I go to my friend, I'm like, this is a VTuber party, isn't
So
it?
everybody had like
She's
really
like,
nice voices, most likely.
huh?
I assume like
No, they didn't
everybody.
have nice.
What do
No,
VTubers?
no.
If they're only showing off their voice, do they not have nice voices? It's like
Not
a
all of them.
podcast
Not
that's
all of
not
them. Dude,
visual.
I swear to God, it was just. So that's the first time. The second time was the next TwitchCon I went to, and it was like some party at the pub. I was like, I'm gonna fucking go there. I can't wait. I go there by myself because nobody else got tickets. I paid $30. I'm online talking to people, and then my brain starts going, something's not right. As I'm talking to people, they start going, my model. What's your model? I'm like, models? And as I get in, I see like banisters for VTuber models. And I'm like, oh no, I'm in another VTuber party. And I go upstairs to where they're
So
at.
did you
They
not
have
take
like,
it as a sign to become a VTuber? Or
no, I would never become
is that,
one of them.
am I gonna show up next week and you're gonna be? You did have a different screen today. Like you looked like you were on TV or whatever. So
Yeah, that doesn't mean I'm
was
gonna
like
be a
that was like
fucking.
a pregame for what's in my future. Is to
No,
see
dude.
you as
No,
a animated character.
no, but I ended up at the VTuber parties, and I was just like, oh my God, I don't belong here. And they could tell you don't belong there too, because they look at you and go, do you
face.
VTube? I'm like, no. Or they ask you certain questions, and if you don't answer it right, they just know you don't belong there.
What? What kind of questions?
They ask you stuff. It's like, oh, you know, what programs are you using to like render things? I'm like, render? Yeah, well, you do the capture, like, you know, your models and stuff where you do create. I'm just like, models? Like, I was just like, oh my God. And they're showing me their college and they have their
you
VTubers
showed up
models
to
and
a
like
party with like a bunch of drugs and they're like trying to feel you out, make sure you're cool before they bring you back. Fucking what?
Dude, if you come to TwitchCon at PAX and stuff, like come to TwitchCon this year. If you come this year, and we're gonna find a way to get into a VTuber party, and you're gonna, for some reason, I always end up at one. So if I say come with me to this party, we're definitely ending up at a VTuber party, and you're gonna sit there and go, "Oh my God, I see now."
Yes, please. I need
it's
to
a
see
different
this now.
world. Just know that everybody there has a cardboard cutout or some card of their models. Like at TwitchCon, there was people literally walking around with a giant cardboard cutout of a VTuber. And would stop it.
It's a totally different world, man.
And then, yeah, there was people with screens. Like, imagine somebody walking around with an iPad and there's the VTuber there and they're like walking on TwitchCon. That's their TwitchCon experience. And these people, you never see them. And if you do see them at TwitchCon, they have masks on. Like,
really?
They wear like just regular cloth mask or have like a face on it, and they'll dress up. And like they're all made up and everything, but you can't see their face because they don't want you to know who they are.
But at the party, is it mask off?
So the party, I saw everybody.
That's why they make sure you belong, because
everybody was there. Everybody, but the thing is, they knew each other. Like, I can't imagine. It's like me and you. What if we were VTubers and we never saw each other in real life? But for some reason, they went there and they just knew who they were. I didn't know none of these people at all.
That's so funny. Huh.
It's a different world. It's scary. I don't like it.
That's kind of wild. Like, I don't think there's any party I could go to where I would like know a bunch of people. So I mean, it's cool that they have that in community. You know what I mean? Like, I just know random people in random places. Like, I've never been in like an in group in my life. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't have like that. That's cool. I like that.
Dude, it's a very weird feeling when you go somewhere and you think like, okay, I'll fit in, and they're like, you don't belong here. You're like, wait a minute, how do you know?
To be fair, but yeah, it's like I have like one like offshoot friends. I don't do like the friend group thing very easily.
Aw, yeah. I'll be your friend.
I'm just a little lonely nerd.
It's okay. You have us. Don't worry. Anyway, moving on to the next topic. PlayStation had their state of play this past week. It was when was it? The state of play. It was like, was it Wednesday, Thursday? I feel like it was a weird day.
It was
And
Wednesday.
They
'cause, yeah.
It was Wednesday.
Yeah.
They displayed some of the new games that's coming out down the line and some projects, anything. So was there anything that you saw a part of the state of play that you were like, oh, this caught my eye? Was there
Actually,
anything
yes.
that you
If
were
you remember
hyped
last
for?
week, we like ended the episode on like I'm not really looking forward to any new games, and that did actually change my mind, believe it or not.
Oh, what did you see that she was like, oh, I might get this?
Well, I'd seen one trailer for this one game, and then they also put it in there, and it like reminded me, and I looked into it. I was like, oh, this game looks cool. Is Hell Is Us? So
Yeah, that
one
Hell
looks
is Us
really cool.
intrigues me. It intrigues me. That
I
game
have
does
been
intrigue
asking
me.
for games for ages that will stop telling, like holding your hand and telling you exactly where to go, and just letting you get lost in the world, and like having to listen to the NPCs and like actually get directions, like actually get like information from them and like write it down. You know, like old school PC games where you actually had to like write shit down. Like I want that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like that seems to be this game. So I'm excited, and it is also like eerie, but also sci-fi, because like I'm not really into like the medieval fantasy vibe. Like that's every fucking game. You know, like this has a unique aesthetic. So and
Yeah,
some people would
they
say
also-
like there's too much sci-fi now, but I disagree. So.
They also showed off more for Borderlands 4. I'm not hyped for Borderlands 4 at all. I'm not.
Well,
I feel
that's
I'm
what
done
people
with
wanted
Borderlands.
was like the big name games. Everybody was disappointed by the state of play because they wanted stuff on like Borderlands, GTA, fucking what are the other big games everybody's like excited about?
Borderlands, GTA
Ghosts of
6,
Yotai. Like
Ghosts
everybody
of
wanted stuff
Yotai.
about games they already know exist. I'm like, what's wrong with you? Like you already know those games exist. Do you not want like anything else? So they announced a game that's coming out I think next year that is Returnal ish. Like it's based
Yeah,
it's the same
it's
team. Yeah.
yeah, it's called it's called don't tell me so the S Soros.
Yeah. So that one could be
So
interesting.
I think Soros is just Returnal with a different person.
it seems like
'cause-
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
It seems
so-
like there's a little bit of a difference. They're like they're like upping their game a little bit. So literally, and making it better based on feedback. And so they had people who wanted more from each round because it's like what's it called, roguelite. And so I think they're leaning into the roguelite experience a little bit more. And so
Okay.
it should be, yeah, I think it's going to be improved version of Returnal, basically. But that makes me want to finish Returnal. I played it a while back when I was much less of a gamer, to be honest, and still made my way through and beat the first boss, which is like, apparently it's one of the harder bosses in the game, is the first boss. They want to like put
Really?
you through the ringer. Yeah, so that's like one of my most proud gaming moments. It was really cool.
They also like what they're doing, what every fucking system is doing now, which just pisses me off. They're doing a remastered version of fucking Days Gone. I have Days Gone. I bought that game, and guess how many hours I put into that game?
Say what? Guess what?
Days Gone.
Yeah.
Days Gone. I said, guess how many hours I put into that game?
8.
0. I bought it, downloaded it, never touched it.
That's
Never
me with The
boot-
Witcher, to be fair.
Dude, I just for some reason it didn't like I don't know, it not that it didn't grab me, because I can't say it didn't grab me because like I didn't play it. Is the thing is like something like there was a whole bunch of other stuff going on in my life, and like the game was kind of just there, and another game came out, and it was like
It just doesn't feel differentiated to me, but it has a cult following. I'm like, there's plenty of zombie games. Like Last of Us has its differentiating factor for me, obviously, but like
yes.
it feels like there's plenty of zombie games. Like, what is it doing distinct? And I've never gotten an answer to that question. But I have a few like cult followers of Days Gone in my chat, and they were really excited for it. So,
But
it
I'm
has
getting real
this, like,
tired of this
deep, you know.
remastered nonsense. Everything is remastered, remade, remastered. Like Days Gone doesn't need a fucking remastered version.
Yeah, it's
The game is not that old. 2, 3, 4 years old. I'm tired of this shit.
I still have very mixed feelings on remakes, remasters, because I did get a few last year, and I just got gifted a copy from like the company. They actually gave me a key for the new Tomb Raider, so
Nice,
Yeah,
dude. Nice,
yeah.
nice.
so that was cool. And I'm gonna
Nice.
make a lot of stuff out of that because I have a new aesthetic channel or ambience channel. So
You gonna
Um,
dress up as Laura Croft?
I did. That was my first cosplay. It was the skimpiest cosplay you'll ever see me in because
No,
it's like it was my
you
first
should.
one. Yeah, and I didn't know what I
Do
was getting
the-
into in the whole sphere of streaming.
Do the classic Laura Croft though.
I
Get
did.
cardboard. Get cardboard and put it in your shirt and just be there like that.
I did like a twist.
do that.
I was probably even skimpier than like her, to be honest. I was pretty skimpy on that one, but I have a picture of it on my thumbnails for my live streams. Like it's me like in the center of the thumbnail, but a lot of it's like covered up with words, to be fair. But yeah.
Oh, so you can't see the skimpy. You just gotta subscribe to the OnlyFans. It's a joke. It's a joke.
I don't have one, guys. Don't.
They're like, oh, OnlyFans. I'm mad curious.
No.
They're mad curious now, right now. What else did we see? We saw what was this? There was a Darwin's Paradox, which was like a squid platformer game. Very weird. Dave the Diver, which is like an indie game, but they are doing it with Ichiban's Holiday. So if you don't know who Ichiban is from the Yakuza series. Like it's like a Yakuza series. Yakuza is a type of series I want to get into.
Yeah, same. It's just too big. I get stressed.
I don't know where to start, and I have to talk to another streamer. She's like a fucking huge Yakuza fan. Like when I say huge, she's like she would die for like the characters. So I want to ask her like, where should I start to dip my toe in and then fall into the waters of this? So I'm gonna ask her, Spexy, next time Smexy.
It sounds like basically like if you were trying to get into Assassin's Creed right now, you know, like it's just big. And
no. If you want to get into Assassin's Creed, you start at 1 or fucking Odyssey, and you just play one of the fucking games. It doesn't matter without. There's no order to this nonsense.
There is actually.
I don't care. I don't want to hear your nonsense with Assassin's Creed. Over that nonsense.
I'm just saying like it's big. Like it's a big sprawling franchise. And so if you were trying to get into it, you'd be a little stressed. But like same with that's how Yakuza is for me. It's like I've never played one, so it's just looking at it is exciting, but also really stressful because I'm like I would never like how would I finish all of these? And like I would have to become like a Yakuza streamer and YouTuber for a time just to get it all done. I mean that's kind of Tomb Raider 2 was like it's pretty sprawling. Like there's a lot of games. So that was a hard one to tackle, and I didn't that was a kind of fail, and I'm gonna come back to it, but.
They also gave us a Digimon Time Strangler. I don't really care about that. Directive 8020. That is made by the same people who made games like Until Dawn, Dead by Daylight.
It's part of the Dark Pictures like franchise, but they took a break.
It's in space this time.
Yeah, they took a break. I think it's like basically season 2 of Dark Pictures. I'd have to look into it a little bit more, but I think they're breaking it up. Like there was the first era of it basically, and now this is going to be a new era. So I don't know if it's like the latter half or like the second third. I'm not sure, but this is like a new era for Dark Pictures, and they've like taken a few years off, and now they're bringing it back. So
now we got another Five Nights at Freddy game. Five Nights at Freddy: The Secret Mimic. Hell is Us. Like I said, we both said is a very interesting looking game.
Awesome.
It reminds me, it has a little feel of a Death Stranding with how you're dressed and stuff, and everything's going on, but it feels like a psychological.
Death Stranding's another on my radar that I need to play. I think because a sequel's coming out and seems interesting.
I think if you have PSN, the director's cut is free.
I think so too. Yeah, so it's on my radar this year.
Yeah, Liza P. Overturn is a DLC for Liza P.
The way that you feel about remaster remakes is how I feel about DLCs. I'm just so over it. I'm so over it. Like, fucking just make another game. Like, what are you like?
No,
why?
Is this just
why do we have these like?
You don't need another game.
My brain just can't do it. Especially as somebody who likes to like play a game and complete it. I don't want you adding to it. Fucking, I wanted to feel like I completed it.
No.
Because then every time you finish the game, they're like, "Are you playing the DLC?" No, I'm not. No, it's not. It's extra content. I wanted to play the main game. It's really good. I don't care. I didn't ask for this. I just want to play the main game.
Is that your excited gamer voice?
Yeah, I guess so.
That's your excited gamer voice?
I guess so.
You know who you sound like? You sound like Toad.
What's it? Like Mario?
Yes, you sound like Toad.
Good to know.
That's how Toad sounds.
It's just so my voice has just come out. I don't even.
You sound like Toad when you do that voice. Probably. I really you should do like a whole episode. You should dress the Toad and play Mario Party. Let's play Mario Party together one day.
Okay.
You have a Switch?
I do have a Switch. I don't think I have the party game, but I'd be done.
We should definitely do like a community event with me, you, and like get some other streamers or something that you're cool with. Or you like, because I know you streamers don't like people. and
I don't
we just
really
do
have
Mario
very many
Party.
people I don't like, to be fair. I like I have people that I like in general. It's not that I really dislike anybody. I just have people that I like and that I raid out to most of the time. Like I wouldn't even call it. It's not like a group of friends. It's not like a. It's just I have people that I really like, and those are the people that we mostly raid out to, and that I'll hang out.
Am I one of those people?
Yeah, you are.
Oh yeah, it should have been that. Yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah,
like.
I mean, I've raided out to you, so you're part of the group.
Yeah, of course.
If I raid out to
Yay.
people, like I'm very particular about my raids because people like recommend, and I'm like,
I don't know this person.
like, stranger danger. No, I have like I look at my following list and I go off of that, and I have the people that I just generally like flock to. So
Yeah, we got our own club. We don't want nobody else in it.
I just
we got another.
Yeah.
We got another Yakuza game, Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii.
It looks
Like
right
a-
up my alley, dude. That's like right up my
Yakuza
alley.
games is
Apparently,
over the
there's even
top.
a mad something. So, yeah.
We got a Lost Souls Aside. Lost Souls Aside is a game that caught my eye. It's very high paced, action fight like game where it's like your brain is
I'm
just
trying to
constant
remember which
movement.
one that is. Is that one of the anime looking ones?
No, but it has anime fighting style stuff. It's like very fast and like
Because
everything's
there was
moving
one
quick.
that looked interesting outside of the anime fighting style to me. Like
That
I'm
must
just
have been
not
the
into anime.
Digimon.
No, the one that's coming that I think has already come out. It looks
Stellar
like
Blade?
it looked like Stellar Blade, but like
There's two
I think
games
she
in
was
here that
less
look like Stellar Blade.
skimpy, and
Oh, we're gonna get to
the
that.
rest of the
It's
game looked kind of cool, but just that kind of turned me off because I'm not into that. But I mean, the only one I've maybe played kind of similar would be like Nier, because it kind of has like leans into the anime style a little
It's
bit. But...
Tides of Annihilation.
Yes.
Tides of Annihilation is the one that's like Celebrate and stuff.
It like almost attracted me to it, but then it just like was kind of too far away from my normal style for me to dive into at the moment.
Not quite your tempo.
Yeah, I mean I've done Nier, like I said, but that's about as far as I've.
Then we get Metal Eden. I don't remember seeing the trailer for this. Metal Eden. Then we got Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, which is just pretty much Metal Gear Solid 3.
So is it a new one? It's
no,
not like a remake remaster. Oh,
no,
I thought it was a new one. I was like, oh, that's exciting.
It's a complete revamp of Metal Gear Solid 3 without Kojima behind
more
it.
Excited about it. That makes sense. I was like, this will break the internet if it's a new one, because I feel like that's a very popular series.
So you know why a lot of people are not happy with it, and I think a lot of people may not buy the game. I feel like okay, let me restate that. I feel the game is going to do well. It's not going to do as well as it should because the man himself is not behind it. Is it his game and his story? Like it's part of from his legacy, his franchise, yes, but he's nothing to do with it. He has anything to do with it. He has nothing to do with it. Hideo Kojima is nothing behind this. Because remember, it's all Konami. And Konami got rid of Hideo. Hideo now has his own project. He has his own studio. So this was like his masterpiece.
Right.
The Metal Gear series is all his masterpiece, but 3 was like the creme de la creme of the games. Because 3 is the first game in the Metal Gear. No. Yes. No. Yes. 3 is the very first game in the Metal Gear series. Not, but
chronologically,
3 is the first game.
Okay.
Because this is when you become Snake. Well, not Snake, Big Boss.
Metal Gear Solid.
No, shut up. It's when you become Big Boss. When you become boss.
And
Big Boss.
It's an iconic series. Like I recognized it right off the bat, and I haven't played them.
Then you got Mind's Eye. Mind's Eye intrigued me.
Mind's Eye. Which one was that?
Mind's Eye is like the guy. He's in a car. Then he's like jumping out the car, shooting.
Oh, that one
and then
did
he's
look.
back
That
in
was
the
the
car.
one that like looked like GTA, but also like a.
I thought it was Need for Speed.
Like GTA, but also another. They kept showing the same car going around the corner. They did that like 3 times. I was like, who edited this? Like, God. Like, how did it's like a 3-minute thing, and you've got this car going around the corner 3 fucking times. But
you know, we saw some more stuff on Monster Hunter's Wild, and I'm still mad that you haven't played the beta with me. And you mean you could just play together, us, and hunt, but no, you don't want to.
I do not want to. I can maybe in the summer if I'm like slowing down on some of my other stuff and like just wanting to play community games for a little while, I could maybe see myself doing like dipping into Marvel Rivals as the shark, or like, yeah.
Don't touch
I just
Marvel.
want to play
Stay
the
away
shark.
from
I
Marvel
just want to play the
Rivals.
shark.
You just want to play Jeff?
Yeah. Or Ark is one that's been on my radar for a long
Ark?
time. Yeah, because it has dinos.
Ark?
I like dinosaurs.
Oh my god. We're not even gonna talk about Ark. Is a whole other episode. We're not gonna talk about that.
I didn't realize I'd hit a pain point for you.
It is not a pain point. It's just a game that's fucking stupid in my eyes.
But it has
It
dinosaurs.
has dinosaurs and robots. Doesn't make sense.
It's dinosaurs. Your Monster Hunter makes sense. You're hunting.
Yeah.
How does that make sense?
Wait, go back.
You're out here like, oh, dinosaurs and robots, but my monsters.
Wait. Stop.
My superhero.
Monster Hunter. What is in the name?
Monster
And
Hunter.
okay. So what is the game's main
Monster
thing
Hunter.
you're doing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ark. It's a dumb name, sure, but that doesn't mean the game's bad.
Okay, and what are you doing in the game?
Dinosaurs.
And robots.
I don't know.
Future.
All I know is there's
Exactly.
dinosaurs. All I know is there's dinosaurs, and it's been on my radar.
You could put a fucking Gatling gun on a T-Rex. How?
Cool. Gimme.
How?
I
Make it
don't
make sense.
normally play survival games, so that's the only reason I haven't played it. Is it's not my
Like-
style of game, but I might have to get into it. I was also thinking of getting into like, what would be fun if you wanted to do it? It would be a whole project, but I was thinking at some point this year, I'm not for sure, really trying to get into like real games, like Civ
Sons of the Forest
and chess.
Oh, I have Civ 6. I have 6. We could play 6. 6 is like on sale. You should get 6. I don't know what I'm doing in 6. It's like I turned the game on and it was like all this stuff, and I was like, off. My brain was like, nope.
Yeah,
too much.
there are games. So Civ, chess, stuff like that. Like I was like, if I, worked my way up this year, we'll see. But you also know I have like the Soulsborne series on my radar. There's a lot of things I want to play, but I got to get something on YouTube to take off before I have time.
If you ever want to do like a survival game, I think you should start with like Sons of the Forest.
Sons of the Forest. Oh, that's
Sons of the
like new though, isn't it? It's like the
New-ish.
Isn't that the sequel to something else?
the
people are
Forest.
playing?
It's the secret to the Forest or the
Oh.
prequel to the Forest. One of the two. I don't
It
know.
was something else for
But-
some reason.
But Sons of the Forest is a very survival game. You can play with friends and everything, so it's cool. Hunt and do all that stuff.
That's the
eat
other thing
people.
that I don't particularly like about these things is like having to play with other people. But
You don't have to. You can do it by yourself if you want to.
oh, okay, good.
I mean, the game does give you like a guy that you could have do things for you. But
Okay.
you could get him. He could die. You could get not getting back. I know you sacrificing people. So
You should see how I run my cult.
we also got some new gameplay from Unimusha Way of the Sword, which I was hyped about. My wet dreams are coming true with Unimusha. Then we got a release date of Unimusha Warlord Samurai Destiny. That's part 2. They're doing a remaster of it. I'm not mad about this remaster because you know why? The game is this is from PlayStation 2. This is a PlayStation 2 game being finally remastered, and Capcom remember that they have other games other than Resident Evil. So that comes out in May, which I'm looking excited for. We talked about Soros, which is like a Returnal game. Shinobi Art of Vengeance was a very like what does you call it? A Metroidvania type game. Old school games, Shinobi Ninja. Split Faction, the game from the Video Game Awards, made by the same company who made It Takes Two. Splitgate 2.
Oh, wait. Yeah,
Cel-
that one caught my eye, actually.
What? Split Faction?
Yeah. And I was like,
not
is it
my
gay?
tempo.
Is it gay? That was my brain, too. That's the one, right? The one with the 2 girls?
I don't know if it's gay.
No,
I think.
but that's how my brain works. I know like most of the industry might be like, oh my God,
Is
get
it
the gay
gay?
away from me. But me and my chat were like, is it gay? Is it gay?
I think they're girlfriends or wives. I don't sure.
It
Or
looked
friends.
Like, yeah,
I don't
it
know.
looked like something. So
I don't fucking know. I don't know if it's gay, but it might be gay.
yeah. So like
Is that
I
a
said,
selling
like,
point
it
for you?
doesn't. Yeah, I mean, like I've said, it's not a selling point for the major part of the industry, and a lot of the industry is turned off by it. But like, if you're making a smaller budget game for your audience, like I'm that audience, it's gay. That's gonna be a selling point.
We got Stellar Blade with Nikita Goddess of Victory, I guess is like an update or something. New content for the game. The Midnight Walk. The Midnight Walk looks very fucking creepy. It looks like it was made by the same company who made Little Nightmares.
Oh, that's the one with the like, what's it called? Stop action?
Yeah, stop motion.
Yeah.
So the claymation stop motion.
I have a lot of respect for it. It's not my style of thing, but it's very interesting.
We got the Crimson Tides. I mean, not Crimson Tides. The Tides of Annihilation, which is the Stellar Blade but less skimpy.
There was something about it that like attracted me at first. It like looked like regular action adventure, and then it like paired with anime. So I was like very my brain was confused because it looked like she was like just looked like. And it's
you think she's hot? Just get it over.
No,
just say
like
she.
The London aesthetic is what I was like, and then climbing, and like it just looked like my style of game, and then it became anime, and I was confused, and my brain couldn't handle that, and I was like, I don't know if I like this or not, because I'm like not.
Then we have
anime.
Warriors Abyss, which is a Dynasty Warrior type game, and then we got a 2K25 WWE.
Oh, I was laughing at the chat so hard. They were so excited. They were so excited. I was like, so y'all just want to hug other men? That's what you're... Listen,
what's wrong with hugging other men? Wait.
Gay?
All right, stop this. Oh, you jerk. Now, you see how funny... You see, look, what are you, a child? A girl? You're just so stupid.
I get to use it. Listen.
Whatever. Anyway... You know what's funny? I was watching Royal Rumble with some of my family members and stuff in Discord, and we were kind of hyped. We were kind of hyped watching it. We was like, "Oh shit, this is kind of crazy." Like, I haven't watched wrestling in so long. I mean, I watched Kaiju Big Battle. That's kind of wrestling, but like WWE wrestling and stuff is like watching it and saw everything that happened. Like, iShow Speed came out and was wrestling, and everything. It was just like. It was just kind of like, what the fuck? And it was kind of like a hype moment. And it kind of like sparked something in me again. Like excitement as like a child.
Like boxing is cool, but like, cause you're like punching and kicking and, you know, but like these dudes just want to
kick in boxing?
Like kickboxing, yeah.
You said boxing.
Well, kickboxing.
So say kickboxing. Well, Muay Thai.
Okay, well, kickboxing.
Or Thai fighting.
Well, punching or kicking, any is fine. But like wrestling's just like acting and hugging.
But they're doing flips.
And hugging.
There's not a lot of hugging. I love
making fun of wrestling. It's too easy. It's so intimate.
So intimate. Then, but it was funny because before the men's Royal Rumble.
Cool, though. The island hub. We need more hub games. I think it's gonna be a thing.
That looks cool.
It's like hubs are gonna take over in a little bit. Like I feel like Assassin's Creed's been working on one. Now we have this wrestling, and I was playing the retro games the other weekend. Diddy Kong Racing, the hub is like the coolest part of it.
Is it?
Did you play Diddy Kong Racing? No.
Okay. Yeah, I played Diddy Kong Racing.
The hub is like where you're going around all the different places, and you can like change your type of vehicle. You like, and they knew too. I like ran straight into the guy just for fun to like change my vehicle, and I was surprised that it worked because I thought I was gonna have to like press a button, but no, you can just like hit him, and that's how you change your vehicle. They know what we want.
Also with wrestling, there's women's wrestling. There's women hugging.
Yeah, gay. It's all gay. A lot of intimacy there.
So MMA is gay too?
Mixed martial arts has more mix than wrestling.
There's punching and kissing and hugging.
Punching though.
There's punching and kicking in wrestling. What wrestling are you watching, Matt?
They like jump from the corner and like hug. I'm not watching any wrestling because it's, gay.
It's too gay for you, a gay woman?
Yeah. It's too gay.
Oh my God. Wrestling too gay for a gay woman.
Too gay.
Extra, extra. Oh my God.
Too intimate. Oh man.
Speaking about things being a little bit too intimate, Overwatch 2, the dev from Overwatch. Now. What?
What was that segue? What's too intimate about Overwatch?
they're upset at Marvel Rivals. They're like they're finally
Oh.
seeing Marvel Rivals as a competitor.
As a rival,
And like,
if you will.
you done? You done? You good?
Mhm.
You get it all out?
Yeah, I think I'm crying. It's fine.
Swear to God, man, I swear to God. So Overwatch, the devs from Overwatch are starting to see a competitor in Marvel Rivals, and they're starting to make changes to their game. As in, before for the longest in Overwatch 2, fans have asked for a ban system to not deal with certain heroes or characters during the ranked games. Because if you ever play a ranked game, you team-based shooter game or any ranked game, certain champions are just annoying to deal with.
Okay.
Some are very OP, some are just very hectic, and some just people don't know how to deal with them. So Marvel Rivals, after you get to like Diamond, you can start banning heroes. There's a ban thing. So each team gets to ban 2 people. And then you vote to ban who you ban, whatever. So Overwatch, that was put out to Overwatch, like have a ban system. They were like, no, we're not doing a ban system. You play the game. Now Overwatch we're gonna add a ban system now. So they're starting to see, and they also came out and said Marvel Rivals is doing things that are kind of like they're not playing safe. And that was the problem with us. We were playing it safe, so now we're not going to play it safe. They're taking off the gloves. I feel this is because Overwatch is starting to see like you're losing your fan base.
Oh yeah.
A lot of like Overwatch players are going to Rivals because like
I kind of thought this would kill Overwatch, to be honest.
it is killing Overwatch.
Yeah.
It's becoming an Overwatch killer because it's the same mechanics, team-based hero shooters, tank, DPS,
But the characters are
strategists,
fun.
healers.
Like I want to play it just for the characters. I don't even like that type of game. But like, and I don't even like Marvel. But listen, they have power. You know.
Yeah, and we don't have to deal with the story. The story in Marvel Rivals is very simple. It's like Doctor Doom from one time and Doctor Doom from another time is like, we want to take over, and they collide, and they go, and then the whole fragment of dimensions and shit, and it's like, oh god, now
like
these
more
heroes.
It's more friendly to like somebody outside. Like I just don't like Overwatch has never in any singular way attracted me to it in any way.
Really?
Yeah, it just looks aesthetically displeasing.
But it had a lot of gay
kinda
characters.
It looks like that's what Concord was modeled after, I'm pretty sure. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't look aesthetically pleasing to me.
I feel like Concord was, but they tried to change it.
Yeah.
They tried to take the formula and bend it and stuff.
Definitely.
But Overwatch, when I first started playing Overwatch 1, it was very cool. It was like new and stuff. Then like the stories and characters just kept changing and changing and changing. And then it was like they started making characters gay and stuff and like giving them like backstories which didn't make sense to the game to me.
Which is
it
pretty
didn't make
much what
sense.
Concord tried to do. It seems like
it
sounds like Concord.
It was like, oh, Soldier 76 is gay. I was like, what does this have to do with the game?
Right.
Oh, it's his backstory.
Which is what we said all along is where it gets weird. Because, like, it might be a selling point for me, but, like, if it feels like it's too far removed from what, you know, like, I don't really care if it's like, oh, okay, cool, gay, but, like, it doesn't add to it, you know?
Yeah, like, and it was like, oh, this character's autistic. What does this have to do with the game?
Right.
Oh, it's a
it
backstory.
Needs to, like, fit, you know?
Yeah, like, it's like, they started doing all this stuff to try to fit into the larger world of the story and things. And I guess it worked for like people who are like kind of connect, who want to know more about the characters.
Is that like what it was, or were they just doing it to do like?
I don't know. It's just like they just kind of. I feel like. So what I've heard from people who used to play Overwatch competitively, they said that the fans killed the game. They listened too much to the community and it killed the competitive aspect of the game. So when I say that, I mean like not the stories, but like people constantly complaining, oh, this person's too overpowered, there's not enough balance. We need this, we need that, we need this, and we need that. So they started doing things, and the game kind of forced the meta. And when I say forced the meta, it kind of like made it like with Marvel Rivals, the typical meta you see is 2, 2, and 2. So 2 tanks, 2 healers, 2 DPS. Then sometimes you see 1 tank, 3 DPS, 2 healers. Then sometimes you see 3 healers, 1 DPS, 2 DPS, 1 tank, and vice versa. So the meta changes a lot. But with Overwatch, it was like 3 tanks. And it was just like a meta was pushed onto the game, and it kind of killed the competitive style of it, because Overwatch was in the esports and it just fell off of esports.
Okay.
Then on top of that, you had the whole thing with Blizzard, where they weren't like, the guys were kind of like assholes. You remember that whole thing with, it came out of Blizzard staff, like the guys would have like weird sex parties, and it was like a boys club, and they were saying sexist things and all that stuff. Like a lot of allegations came out, and then they changed the whole character's name because the character was named after one of the guys who made the game. So imagine you made a character named Mad Curious in your game. This is your game you helped develop.
Okay.
It comes out, Mad Curious is a fucking raging alcoholic who goes around and touches butts. She just goes and gets drunk, touches butts. We fire you from the company.
Yeah.
Mad Curious now is changed to like Stacy.
I would name a character after myself if I made a game, 100%.
Yeah, but now this character's name is Stacy.
And so everybody's upset about this, or
A lot of people are upset because
Okay.
it's like, why did you didn't have to change his name?
just because he
His
touches
name-
butts?
Yeah, just because he was associated with somebody who's an asshole, you changed his whole name,
Right.
and now you change his whole lore and backstory now, which you already like. It got there was a lot of
I feel
stuff
like
going
there's
on.
Something we go a little bit too far with like art and artists. You know what I mean? Like just let it be. Let some stuff be. You know, like I'm very. Yeah, I like to separate the two at this point.
It was a lot with the Overwatch and stuff now, and like when Rivals came out, it was like everybody was like, "This is gonna kill Overwatch." Is Overwatch still a superior game? Yes, because
Really?
Overwatch had a lot of things done.
Says the guy
That-
who loves Marvel. You think that Overwatch is still better?
I don't love Marvel
Interesting.
Rivals. I have a love-hate relationship with it. I'm saying, put it like this: Overwatch
How many
has
hours
a lot
have you
of.
put into it?
So we're not going to talk about that. But Overwatch has a lot of things done correctly, and it's superior because, again, it has the LFG in the game. And LFG, if you guys don't know, looking for a group, it has it within the game. It also has a queue system where you could queue up as, I only play this role. I don't play nothing else. That's all I play is a
I
healer.
feel like those are easy
Don't touch-
ads. You know,
What's that?
that's just system changes they could easily implement.
Yes. Rivals doesn't have that. Also, Rivals has that dirty AI system that matches you and that keeps you climbing. Whereas, like, it has all that stuff. So Rivals has a lot of learning to do. But right now, Overwatch is like, okay, we'll see what Rivals did. Now we're gonna do it.
So it's going to be a
We're
real
gonna
competition.
It's gonna try to be a real competition.
rivalry.
You can't control yourself, can you?
I can't.
We're moving on to things that can't control themselves. Avowed.
Okay,
Avowed
so what's
is
going
a
on
new
with
game.
that? Because you mentioned it, and I was like, what did Avowed do?
So Avowed is made by the same people who made the Outer Worlds, Obsidian, and so for the longest, people have just been upset at this game for like no reason. People already wrote this game off before it came out.
It was just an anti-DEI target.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So from what I've seen with that game, it's not my tempo because it looks like Skyrim and stuff, and it's just like
kind of same. It wasn't on my radar.
A lot of people are complaining like some of the mechanics are kind of like you can't do certain things with the NPCs and everything. Some people complain that
like you can't kill them, or
I saw a video. The guy was literally walking up to NPCs and shooting them, and the NPCs
so it's
wasn't
like
dying.
a kid-friendly game.
Who knows? But maybe that's just a minor bug.
The only game I played like that I can think of in recent times was Outlaws, but that's because it's like they were trying to do kid-friendly Star Wars.
Was it? Was Outlaw kids friendly Star
You couldn't
Wars?
kill like the NPCs. Like you could kill obviously the ones that were factioned, but like just random people you couldn't just like kill, which is.
It should just be always gun down the NPC.
I generally think the same. Yeah, it made sense if they were just trying to make it more friendly to kids, but like I don't know why you do that in another game that isn't like trying to be very mass market appeal. You know.
I guess. Also, a lot of people were saying that like I said, that I think it was just a DEI thing. Also, a lot of people saying like, you have pronouns in the game, but there's no sexual you have pronouns, but there's no romantic questionings. Like you can't romanticize somebody. You can't risk somebody up.
So they think that it was just like DEI funded, so they put the pronouns, so they're mad at it. Is that what I'm hearing?
Maybe, but like the thing is, it's like how people address you. That's what the pronouns are. How people address you is they, them, he, her, ze, zer, so forth and so forth. But a lot of people some people upset at that, but a lot of people got it early access for $80, which is absurd, or $98, and they're saying like the game isn't even worth that much money. Like it's not worth that. There's a lot of problems with it, and that goes back to the question that we spoke about before on the last podcast, so with the paying for the game and how much are you willing to pay and stuff, especially with the early access of things now. It's just like, what is happening with gaming with people just like they want so much now.
It's honestly entitlement at this point in my mind. I know people will be like, no, we're allowed to ask for whatever we want because we're the customers. Oh, there's the voice again.
I told you.
It's like, bro, like you make something. Like fucking, what's wrong with you? Like the games are getting so fucking big because they're like, oh, I can't swim. Oh, the fucking woods. Oh, I gotta have this. Oh, I gotta be able to. If they don't have everything, they're gonna complain, and they better have it in the first fucking 2 hours. And they're probably only gonna play 8 hours max. These people aren't like gamers that actually want to dissect a game and like get into it and like really like fucking full on experience the art that somebody has created. They just want to get their fucking kicks for 2 hours and be done. Like this is not. It's like this style of gamer that wants the biggest possible fucking game and then isn't even gonna play it. I can't fathom it. Like I want to see what all of the stats are for these gamers, because I guarantee the majority of them have not even finished the games that they started. They just played 2 hours and then fucking complained. I can't. It's so annoying, dude.
Yeah. So from what I've seen, so what people said, you can't steal, you can't pickpocket, you can't break into homes, you can't attack NPCs. So a lot of people expect this to be like Skyrim, but it's nothing like Skyrim. And Obsidian says they had expressed it won't be anything like Skyrim.
So why did they expect Skyrim if they marketed it as not Skyrim?
Because it looks Skyrim-ish.
So people are just
I
morons.
guess when you make a game,
the actual communication that happened.
Exactly. But also when you have a game of that scale and that size with all this stuff you could do, you would expect, especially when games say like, oh, you have it's an open world, you have a freedom to do anything you want, and I can't kill an NPC or pickpocket people. Like if I have a pickpocket skill, why can't I pickpocket people? If I can't kill NPCs, like I can't make my own choices. Like don't tell me I can make my own choice in the game, and if I want to be a fucking psychopath, why can't I kill people? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like even in Bloodborne and the Souls games, the NPCs who are literally there to help you, who are in the fucking
I kill that girl every time. And again, I don't know the full story yet, but they were like, stop.
Why do you keep killing her?
Yeah, every time I went there, I killed her. Every
what
time.
Game is this? Which game?
Bloodborne.
Which girl are you
stop
killing?
Killing her. I don't know the lore why I shouldn't kill her, but I kill her every time.
The doll?
Made it, like halfway through.
The doll?
The one that gives you the upgrades.
The doll.
I kill her.
Why?
Every time, because she's there and she can be killed.
What's wrong with you?
And I was like, I wonder what happens if, oh, okay. So does she come back? And then she came back and I was like, oh, okay, cool. So we'll do it again.
Yeah, so even in Bloodborne and Souls game, you could kill the NPCs. You're not supposed to kill them. I hope, you know what? Good. No, keep that same energy, Matt. Keep that same energy and keep playing that way. Because you're going to run into the NPC, you're going to hit it, and it's going to fuck you up.
Yeah.
Because you know the NPCs were like, the minute you hit them, they're going to go, what are you doing?
The absolute
Stop.
definition of FAFO. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Yes, because there are a lot of NPCs in that game that the minute you hit them, go, "What are you doing? Have you gone mad?" And they go, "I see that I have to put you down like a dog."
Yes.
And they clap your cheeks.
Yeah, it's great.
Yes. So keep killing NPCs. So even with a game like that, like Souls games, like where you can attack the random NPCs, you know, that's freedom.
Yeah,
You're not supposed to.
And a lot of us
But
really
because when
like
you
that
do
because
that-
we're fucking psychopaths, right? I guess maybe their target audience is the non-psychopaths. I don't know who those people are. I feel like the crossover, like the Venn diagram of psychopaths and gamers, is probably pretty circular. But like, so maybe there's just isn't an audience for family-friendly fun.
Listen, you said it yourself. You go in there and kill everything.
Absolutely, I do. Yeah.
Just murder. You got. Let me look at the camera real quick. Look right in the camera real quick. Look into the camera real quick.
No.
Put your hat up. Put your hat up.
What?
And look at the camera.
Yes.
Yeah, you got crazy eyes. You got
Okay.
those crazy eyes. You got crazy eyes. Look at she's a psychopath. She got psychopathic eyes. That's what it is. Like just walk into a whole town and it's like, everybody here, you're dead. Did you ever play the game Fable?
No. It looks
You never
kind of
played
cool.
Fable?
It looks kind of cool though. But I
So
haven't played it.
Fable, you could have the completely evil path. Like
Well, it
complete
says
evil.
Xbox. It was Xbox only for the longest time, right? Yeah, and I
Yeah,
didn't
and
grow
they
up on
got-
Xbox, so that might be why. I have one now though, so I could.
Yes, but Fable, you could literally walk into a town and just murder everybody, and it puts your evil level up.
Oh, I love that.
And like, I like what the cool thing about Fable. It was just the more evil you did, the more it transformed you.
Mm.
So like, it would have like a bar.
We need more
And, like, the
games that
more-
do that, to be honest.
The more evil stuff you did, like you actually physically see, like you turn like your skin to get like gray. You start getting horns. People, when you walked into towns, people were scared of you and stuff.
Well,
Like,
that's
they
why
wanna be
that's what I
next to
liked
you.
about Outlaws was it had that whole cool reputation system, and people were like, "You're never playing that game." No, it's cool. It has a reputation system. You might not have been able to kill like random people, but you could kill a lot of people, and it would change how you interacted with things and what you unlocked.
Yeah, I never played Outlaws. I have no interest to play Outlaws. It's not my game. I like Star Wars
It's
games.
like
are
exactly
just,
my type of game. That's me in a nutshell. I like it. Other than the not being able to kill everyone.
But a lot of people were saying it's very mixed reviews with Avowed. And I saw something where it says like people was like, oh, the player base for when they drop is very low, it's like 9,000. But at the same time, I was like, the game's not fully out. 9,000 people are playing early access. We don't know the player base right now, like when the game releases.
I feel like.
And if
Do
I'm-
you think the anti-DEI people like it's working? Do you think that like that movement is actually working? Because I wonder if it'll keep that game down. It didn't. Obviously, it kind of arose higher after BG3. I feel like, but BG3 did so well. So I don't know if that's gonna affect it or not. Like I don't know if it actually really is having huge influence in the industry. I mean, because it seems like it to me, but like I know I just see a lot of it on Twitter. So I don't know if it actually has any real influence.
I feel like with Baldur's Gate 3, like you can't go wrong with a Dungeons & Dragons game. Because in Dungeons & Dragons, you could literally make yourself and be anything and play exactly how you want to play.
Right, and
That's
so maybe
Dungeons
they
and
were
Dragons.
like, yeah, they were like, okay, well then maybe they didn't make it their target, even if it had been, now, just because it's built for that, and so maybe because a lot of them are more on the side of like reason of they're looking for those that are getting like infused DEI budget, like that's their whole thing, more than the actual thing. Like the things are symptoms of that to them. And so when I see that logic, it's like they're just looking for the DEI infused budget, which
Yeah.
BG3 would be that no matter what. So maybe it wasn't a target for them, which makes sense. But yeah, and that's that's how I feel about Assassin's Creed, right? It's like Assassin's Creed is always going to be Assassin's Creed, and it's always had these things. And so I don't really understand when people come at it. It's like, okay, well, you don't know Assassin's Creed if you're saying it's been like fully historically accurate. I spanked the Pope with a magical staff, so I don't. That was an AC2, so it hasn't changed. It's always been a little bit less than historically accurate.
So
So
wait. But Assassin's Creed, Assassin's Creed, what upset me with Assassin's Creed, they say they try to be
Well, they do to a lot,
when
like
the
with the details and stuff. They do a lot of cool stuff.
yeah, but then they
have a
do
lot of cool things you
nonsense.
can like read and
Yeah, but then they do
it's like
stupid shit.
very in depth. You know, you feel like the aesthetic is very, you know, like they even looked at, they gave their 3D model or whatever, the stuff that they built for the Notre Dame to the Notre Dame when it burned, because they had like a very heavy mapping of it.
Well, with Assassin's Creed just right around the corner, Assassin's Creed Shadows, like when does it come out? Did they push it back to November or some shit? Or was it February? It's supposed to come out this month. No, it got pushed back.
It's March 20th now. It was supposed to be the same day as Tomb Raider 2 days ago.
Okay, so well, Assassin's Creed is right around the corner too, sort of. I don't know what's gonna happen with that game. It's very mixed right now.
It really could go either way, because Valhalla sold so well, right? And people are like, "Oh, well, Mirage didn't." Well, Mirage was a smaller game in a totally different portion of the Assassin's Creed community, and I think the RPG community in Assassin's Creed has grown very large. They really like that style of game, and AC has turned off a lot of its old fans, which is weird to me because again, it's been there since the beginning. So I'll fight, you know, the people who think that it's changed too much or not enough. It was like fucking, you know, pick a lane. But Mirage didn't sell as well, but it also wasn't marketed like a major game because it was originally supposed to be a DLC, and then they made it like a whole game. And it had a lot of cool things that it did, but it was by no means the best AC game for most. I even did a poll recently, and I think only one person, maybe two, chose Mirage out of like a couple hundred.
No.
So
well,
but like Valhalla sold over 1 billion. So
it did.
Yeah. Now to be fair, it was in like $1 billion specifically. It made over $1 billion. So, and they have some microtransactions. So people might have bought stuff outside of just copies. So you have to do the math there. But this was in 2020 when we were locked down. It was released right with it was one of the only releases right with PlayStation 5. I remember very clearly because I got Miles Morales and Valhalla because there weren't very many things coming out with the PS5. So it had some bolster there, but they've said that the pre-orders are in line with Odyssey, which was a bit lower than Valhalla. However, Odyssey had a really good increase over time, which it doesn't happen for every game because when I did research, it was like around 50% of a game's sales can happen in like the first week for a lot of games. So, you know, having that like long-term growth isn't as common, you know, so if that's following that pattern could be good, but the fact that it even sold, you know, similar to Odyssey in pre-sales is pretty good because Odyssey's done really well. Well,
we'll see what happens. Like a lot of people saying Avowed is not even worth it. It's a mediocre game, people are saying.
What's its like niche selling point? Like what's its thing? Like the cover looks colorful.
It's from Obsidian. It's from Obsidian. That stuff plays into like the I guess the story within the game. I think that like that colorful, that plant shit is some type of blight or some, I don't fucking know. It's
like
some
it kind
weird
of
thing.
Looks like
you can pretty much you can make your person look like a clicker. Pretty much.
To me, that looks like the Dragon Age type of thing. Like it looks like the same crowd to me as like Dragon Age, and Dragon Age did okay. I mean, it definitely did pretty well in terms of like it hit like this the first game it like was like topping the charts on Steam if you're gonna look at all the Steam data, you know, like it was topping charts, but it didn't meet their expectations either. Like it still did really well though,
because you know why it hit the
probably
charts?
A few million copies, you know what I mean? Like that's nothing to sneeze at, but
and then people were like, this game actually is dog shit. Actually, it's stupid. It sucks.
Well, some people
really
all the
liked fucking
it,
journalists.
But, you know, I think there's an audience for it. I just don't know that it's like a 10 million audience. It's more like a 2 to 3 million audience. You know what I mean? It's a smaller audience than they're budgeting for it. Like there is an audience for these games. It's just not 10 million.
I don't know what to think. Honestly, I just think it's just hard to make like good games now. Or there's a simple formula to make games good, and it's just everybody wants to experiment and change things. Like a game like Avowed, like okay, make your character however you want. It's an open world. You could do whatever you want. Okay, I'm not gonna sit there and say that's DEI. When you can make a character be a fucking chick with fucking 6 eyes, or a dude with fucking a vagina, whatever. It doesn't matter. Like you make a character however you want.
Gaming is only getting more saturated every day. Like there's only more games available to us every single day.
Yeah.
And so and that's part of why, some of the platforms probably limit the amount of what do you call, like when you can play the older games? What's that called? Starts with a B.
What?
Like when you can play different console games on the new console. I forget the name for that. People don't like it when they don't have that available.
When it's when you could go back last gen stuff, like
yeah. There's a word for it. I forgot the word, but anyway, there's only more games, and I feel like in our industry, a lot of the companies have leaned towards safe and developing over like an entire decade rather than developing fast and innovative. And because of that, we're getting a lot of stuff that people are calling slop because they're being safe and they're taking a decade. And it's like there needs to be a few AAA companies that decide to do it differently and instead throw out quick, innovative games. And they're not doing that. They're just like relying on the indies to do that and then trying to learn from them, except then they still play it fucking safe and they add maybe like one or two little elements. It's still 80% safe. So it's like, they're doing 80-20, I think, in the wrong way right now. And they haven't done an innovative period for a while, and people are bored, to be honest. They're bored with what's coming out, and they're not making the right decisions. They're following the data too much at this point. There's something to be said for, taking success and trying to twist it over and over without actually doing something new. So
yeah, I can 100% agree with you on that. Like, if they're not doing what, how can I say this the right way? They're not really giving what gamers want and need. But like story wise and stuff, like gameplay wise.
Yeah, they're just making the same thing over and over. Like you said with Avowed, like it's like Skyrim but without killing people. Like what's the hook? There has to be a hook, something that people want. And
something has to grasp onto me.
Because we used to have much fewer games, right? It was like, oh, this game is like this thing. Like it's the only one of its thing because there weren't as many games. Now you actually do have to do more to stand out. And they just want to make a good game, which I respect. I understand. Like I have this problem all the time where it's like, okay, but I made a good thing. Like come look at it. And people are like, I don't care. There's a lot of good things. You've got to have the distinct hook, and the companies are just not doing a good job of it. But what's funny is in the state of play, you probably mentioned it because you went through the whole list, but I don't remember the name of it. But it's the one where the guy's like in his dreams, and then like instead of stabbing things with a sword, it like changes the environment or something. That one's intriguing to me. I want to play that game.
What game? What game is that?
Dream something from State of Play. It looks maybe more indie or like very smaller budget, but it looked like such an intriguing concept that I'm interested, even though I'm normally more of a like, So
I don't remember seeing that game.
More games like that for sure. And so that one intrigued me because it's such an interesting premise.
Well, we'll see with the way things are going with the current with the current state of gaming. We just don't know what people want and what companies are trying to do and what's their selling point anymore. Like you said, nothing's gripping a lot of people. Like easily, when you looked at those two games, what was it called? What the fuck was the game called?
Hell Is Us.
Yeah, Hell Is Us. When you look at Hell Is Us, that gripped me and you. It was like, this looks interesting. It was very psychological. It didn't give me much. It was different from what I'm used to.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at games like Mind's Eye, that was kind of interesting too. It was like, what's the car? What's the fucking the shooting? What the hell is this game really about? Like, it's like,
you've got
what
to have
is
something
happening?
intriguing. You've got to have people asking questions or saying, oh, this hasn't been done before, right? You've got to have something, a hook of some sort.
Tides of Annihilation, you're like, oh, this looks interesting. The gameplay is a little too much for me, but it still looks interesting.
Right.
Like when you look at things like Avowed, like when I saw it, I was just like, this kind of looks like every other, Skyrim game I played. It kind of looks like that.
Versus the Tides of Annihilation, which what drew me in was the London, right? It's like a destroyed London. And while I think that's probably been done before to some extent, I haven't seen it like that. Like that looked gorgeous, right? Like it looked like something that hasn't been done before, and it's based in some reality, so you can kind of grasp onto it. It's not just, oh, we're in another fucking medieval fantasy world. Like fucking no,
Exactly.
I don't need that. I have no interest in that. But like London, okay, I have something to grasp here. My brain can grasp it. And so, you know, I don't care about Avowed. It's just what, another magical fucking
Another magical,
whimsical medieval fucking world. Like we have that. Fucking make something else.
Now, again, this is just what we're saying. Again, it could attract other people. Like Avowed could be something that attracts other people because that's what they're into.
Yeah.
But for some like people like me and Mad, like we've seen it enough, and we're just kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. Games like Titan Annihilation, Hell Is Us, and what the fuck is that? Shit, God, I said like 6 fucking times. Mind's Eye.
Mm-hmm.
Have they been games like that before? Yes, but maybe because it didn't catch your eyes with the visuals and stuff and kind of
well, they have
that interest.
something distinct that's different. Like the apocalyptic London is a distinct thing. There are games in London, but there aren't, like, you know, even if everything else is like regular fantasy game, right? Regular fantasy adventure, they have apocalyptic London. Nobody else has that, right? You've got to have that distinct quality that stands out. And something about Mind's Eye made us all like, what's going on? It was like it combined enough of like 2 genres, I think, that we were all kind of like, I'm intrigued.
What the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll see what the coming months.
And
but
then Hell Is Us is not a hand-holding game, which we've all been asking for. Like gamers have been asking for a long time. Stop fucking telling us where to go. I want to get lost. Yeah.
well, let us know in the comments below what you think. If there are any games that are coming out that you're excited for from the state of play, or how do you feel about with games just like not being able to catch your attention and the selling points just not being there for you as a consumer? Let us know in the comments below. Be sure to like, subscribe, and be sure to hit that notification button so you know when we drop a new video. We try to drop a video like every 2 weeks or something. We're kind of behind, but we're just trying to change up this thing. We're gonna try to change things up. We got to talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
But do you have any closing statements, Matt? I swear, if God was a pun, I'm gonna hit you.
No puns. I have a lot of thoughts about like how customers, consumers, like it just. I feel like they're getting a big head about them because they don't want to. It's like they've never created anything themselves, so they're just like suckling at the teat of gaming and don't really understand how anything works, you know?
Yeah.
And every industry is having issues. It's just so big. Like we just have so much. And I feel like people have just jumped on the train of the only thing that they can create is complaints, and they're just kind of like acting worthless at this point. It's like you could just be grateful, and then also like if you don't like something, create it yourself. Like you're not king of the castle just because you have a couple bucks to throw at a game. That's not like, it's like they're trying to create like power for themselves. It's a bunch of narcissism, to be honest. And so a lot of people would disagree. They're like, but I'm the customer. Like, fucking relax. You used to like Mario, okay?
You know what they say, the customer is always wrong. Well, that's it for today's episode. I'm Delacroix.
I'm Mad Curious.
And we'll see you on the next round. Peace out.
Bye.